These are just some examples of design inspired by Compost. So Kristen's going to talk about our remaining Compost initiatives.
So another idea we had for the Ecology Center was to start composting at events all around New York City. This could be any kind of event from concerts and festivals to outdoor movies at parks. This has actually been done before on larger scale events like Bonnaroo and Lollapalooza, but we believe the Ecology Center should start on smaller scale events in order to practice and learn how to engage their new demographic. The Ecology Center can engage these patrons by hiring volunteers or trash talkers who stand by the bins and help them divert their trash between landfill, compostable, and recyclable materials, while also informing them of interesting facts about composting and the Ecology Center. With the Ecology Center composting at events, it can introduce composting to those who may not have ever heard of it, while also provoking those who are aware of it to ask questions like, why isn't this being done on a daily basis in New York City? We also believe the Ecology Center should start a compost job training program in addition to completing the Master Composter program. We feel that this would benefit the Ecology Center by promoting green entrepreneurship through partnerships with schools. We hope that this would encourage business behind building composting bins at all different scales, from apartments to schools, offices, and backyards. This would actually reach out to an audience who is aware of composting yet doesn't necessarily have the time or resources to do so. And this job training would actually promote the Ecology Center without actually collecting excess material, so it would divert increased organics to these other sites. And Matthew will take it away with e-waste.
So switching gears to e-waste, we realize that a big problem with e-waste is that it's inconvenient to recycle. There are certain places where you can bring your e-waste right now. You can bring them to retail chains like Staples, Office Depot, Best Buy, and they only take a very limited amount of e-waste. So they'll only take, certain ones will only take toner or ink cartridges. I know that when I wanted to recycle my monitor, Best Buy would only take up to a 32-inch monitor, and it's also very heavy. If you want to carry it to a Best Buy, sometimes the Best Buy could be 20 blocks away. People don't want to carry their items that far, and it takes time to go there. And for businesses, that's a big loss of productivity. So businesses wouldn't want to necessarily have an employee that they're paying hourly spend time rather than discarding something to have them go and recycle their e-waste. So if we decrease the burden for recycling e-waste, we can increase the amount that actually gets recycled. So one of our ideas is prepaid shipping labels. To do this, it would be 3 simple steps. You would create a web page, sign up for a UPS account, and purchase and distribute boxes. To create the web page would have to have 3 critical pieces of information. It would have the quantity and weight of the e-waste that's being recycled, the type of e-waste, like whether it's toner, paper, toner, printer, ink cartridges, or a monitor, and it would have the address and the preferred carrier that the person wants to use, whether it's UPS or the post office, depending on which one's easier for them to get to. When they sign up for a UPS account, they'd want it designated as a 501c3 UPS account, so they would save a significant amount on the shipping. And when you purchase and distribute boxes, there are 3 main companies that you can buy them from. There's GlobeGuard, Amatec, and Benson Box. These boxes will be environmentally friendly and cost effective because they can be indefinitely recycled. This is an example of a website. This would actually be a page that's linked off of the Ecology Center page. This is a company called Funding Factory. They have a similar idea where you basically just select the type of box that you want to donate, whether the size is small, medium, or large, has dropped down. It's very user-friendly. And for shipping, you would create a UPS account, and as I said, the non-profit organization would save about 50% on the shipping rates. And you can see some of the examples of shipping rates right here. 1 to 5 pound box wouldn't cost more than $6, and all the way up to a 25-pound box would only be around $12. So when you couple that with the amount that you'd actually be making on the items that are being recycled, such as toner, there's an approximate $900 profit on 10 toners. And it's taken off of Amazon.com and competitive websites. The toner is very, very, very expensive. So, and ink cartridges are the same thing. By shipping it for $6, you can make $50 on the toner. The shipping cost is essentially not even worth discussing. For distributing the boxes, they can be handed out at e-waste events or handed out locally. And advertising for the prepaid shipping label idea can be done via YouTube or on the website. And now Connie will take over.
So another idea we had to increase e-waste participation is to create a new e-waste event in which the Lower East Side Ecology Center partners with a specific charity or organization. And how it works is people will donate their e-waste, the Ecology Center will refurbish it, sell it, and then part of the proceeds will go towards that particular charity or organization. And the goal in doing this is trying to reach out to a group of people that may not fall under the target audience of the Lower East Side Ecology Center, but these are people who have interest in civic engagement because they're part of these charities. So they're people that we want to donate their e-waste. And this has been implemented in real life. Verizon has a program called the Hope Line program. They partnered with New York City, among other cities around the US. And the public donates their used cell phones. Verizon refurbishes it, sells it, and then the proceeds goes towards advocacy groups against domestic violence. And since 2001, Verizon has collected about 9 million phones across the US. So you can have variations to the event. You can accept specific electronics, which would make transportation easier because you have uniform size and shape. Or you can collect different types of electronics, which would increase total collection rates. Or you can partner with different charities for different events throughout the year. And that way you can reach a greater audience, even a bigger variety of groups. Now, aside from coming up with ideas to help enhance the Lower East Side Ecology Center's programs, we want to advertise and promote the center and their ideas as well. So we thought we could do this by using YouTube, creating videos. It's free and simple to set up with simple instructions. It's just another way to reach a greater audience because it's not only people from New York City, but the entire US and beyond. And any videos that are uploaded onto YouTube can be linked onto their original website on Facebook, Twitter, anything like that, so it's easily shareable. But starting and maintaining a YouTube site does have its costs, equipment, and labor. You only have 4 steps to take care of that. First, you need a camera, editing software, a computer, and someone to maintain it, and that's basically all you need. So the cost depends on how much you're willing to spend, and it can be pretty cheap, but it can be expensive depending on the equipment. So this is we created a mock YouTube site to show what the future Lower East Side Ecology Center YouTube site would look like, and we also created several sample videos to show the type of content that can go onto the website. So right now, I'm going to show you one of them. Is it sound?
Is it plugged in? Is the sound cord plugged in?
I don't know. Is it?
Well, the video has sound and it's one.
But I don't know how to. Let's just display it. Yeah. It's okay. It's just happy music. It's less happy now. Where? This one? I don't know. No? Yeah. Basically, that showed the process of the food waste being brought to the Union Square market, and then going through the process of composting, and then coming back to Union Square. And here's Tatiana to wrap up our presentation. So bad. if you guys have been paying attention, also you can still see it now. Pop quiz. We have, throughout the whole presentation, we had a little worm at the bottom, crawling across the screen and eating food. And then what's falling behind it is what the worm poops out. And this is compost. This is the way that composting works, by using worms. And so what we wanted to do is summarize our information using a theme of composting and how it functions. So one way to compost is by using a 3-bin system represented here. So what the worm does is it helps turn the compost and turn it into a final product. But also what the 3-bin system does is it starts in one bin on the left there, and that has the original materials that are going in, just like food scraps that you just have off your table. And then over time it moves to the other bins as it processes more and takes more time and the worms work more. And then you end up with a final product like compost that you can sell or use in your garden. So we have the same system for the Lower East Side Ecology Center, where by starting with some small, simple initiatives now, like building partnerships and starting some simple programs like the shipping program, they can expand their reach from the short term into more elaborate partnerships and different programs, such as these educational programs like Master Composting or a new e-waste Masters program.